As we're doing training, though, we're going to be working on licensing paperwork, which is
a lot of it.
A lot of it. Yeah, the majority of the time that we are working towards you becoming a foster parent, becoming licensed, is us doing training and licensing paperwork.
So from the beginning to the end, we started in June.
Right, June was the first call.
And then I think it was November, whenever we finally we actually have a certification at home now.
People think you have to be married, you have to have kids. That's not what it's like. You can be a single person, you can be married, you can be dating, you can be in a partnership, you can be divorced. There's no area where we're saying, nope, absolutely not. You're single, you have no experience, you can't do this.
Right.
And a lot of people think that, but that's just not the case.
Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Community Spotlight. This is Paramedic Ron with WAME. Today, we are here to talk about foster care and Children's Home of Iredell County in specific, because that is pretty much what I know about foster care. So other than being in foster care, helping with foster care, not being in foster care. Today, we've got Sara Dillon here with us, and she's going to tell us a little bit about how we can become a foster parent, the kind of dispel some of the old rumors of different things, and help us understand how to help with kids. So, hey, Sara.
Hi, Ron.
How are you?
I'm great.
So this kind of, I thought I told Sara that we were doing a video podcast, and she thought that it was just a regular podcast.
No, he definitely did not say video. I would have said no on the spot.
She's putting me under the bus on that one, either way. But Sara and I have gotten to know each other a little bit over the past 8 months.
Yeah.
Since June of last year?
June. June is when I first talked to you guys.
Yeah. I don't even know how we got hooked up, other than maybe Kyle contacted you first.
Kyle sent me an email. He had found Children's Homes of Iredell County on Google search.
Okay.
And I was the first one that popped up, and he just called and was like, I don't even know if this is the right place, but do you do foster care? And so then it started from there, and I put a class together. And so we talked for probably a little over a month before we were able to get you guys in training. And
because we had been wanting to do this. I've wanted to do this for probably 10 years or more.
Right.
As far as foster care. Mm-hmm. Honestly, longer than that, probably. Because I knew of some people in the past. Right. My mom and her siblings, to be specific.
Right.
Whenever they were younger, they went through some foster care systems down in the southern part of the states. They were down in Florida and Georgia.
Right.
And I had heard some horror stories of what they had gone through. So my thought was, I want to help these kids that may be going through some of this to not experience stuff like that.
Right. And it was really cool too, because you had so much knowledge of foster care.
Right.
So when I met you, you were asking me like the right questions. And I was just like, did you grow up in foster care? And you were like, no, here's my history.
Yeah.
Which was really cool, because you understood what foster care was.
Right.
It wasn't like any shocking information. You kind of understood and knew that world.
Well, and working with EMS as well,
Absolutely.
I kind of seen some of these things in the past.
Right.
And seen how some of these kids are treated that
yeah.
Obviously I can't talk about, just like we can't mention names and stuff.
Right.
We couldn't with that either because of HIPAA. But seeing some of those things in the system and being like, hey, this is not a good thing.
And even Kyle had, with his role in the school system, like he had some knowledge of it. So
yeah.
So
we've got some understanding a little bit of what to do with it.
Right.
But you're going to help us understand a little bit more.
All righty.
So one of the big myths that I found out and looking into it was, first off, can a single person be a foster parent?
Absolutely. People think you have to be married, you have to have kids. That's not what it's like. You can be a single person, you can be married, you can be dating. Okay. You can be in a partnership, you can be divorced. There's no area where we're saying, nope, absolutely not. You're single, you have no experience, you can't do this.
Right.
And a lot of people think that, but that's just not the case.
I was one of those people.
You did.
I mean, whenever I first come in, I was like, and even though, because we have had, working at the radio station, I've had people in, and they're like, they talk about the foster care system, but then it's like they never fully. And I was always scared to ask that question.
Right. It was actually one of the first questions I got from you guys.
Yeah.
Was, do you have to be married?
Right.
Yeah. And I get that question a lot.
And we've already been in that process, but it was just like, what's going to be the game plan here?
Right.
Are we going through these classes for nothing?
Yep.
Or,
and we talked about it a lot. Because even almost to the end of class, we were still talking about that question. And I kept reassuring you guys that's not a requirement.
Right. So
anybody can be a foster parent.
And we had a couple other people in the class with us.
Yep.
It's very to go back to the class thing. What do we need to do to become a foster parent?
Okay, yeah, let's start there. So
Yeah.
we're kind of jumping ahead. The first thing is reach out to us.
Okay.
Let us know you're interested. I'll talk to you a little bit one-on-one about what foster care is, what we're going to, what the process looks like. So the first step really is coming in, having that one-on-one meeting or a phone conversation, and then I'll start training. So training is 30 hours.
Okay.
We do that in-house.
I think we did, 2 days a week?
We did 2 days a week some weeks. I'm a really flexible trainer, so I try to schedule training when everybody can come.
Right.
And so some weeks we did twice a week, some weeks we did once a week, just depending on this class and when everybody could come. But that's the first step. You attend this training. It's a 30-hour training. We do all of it in-house. In that, you're going to cover a variety of topics. We're going to talk about what it means to be a foster parent, the foster care system, child welfare in general, trauma. Trauma is a huge topic that we discuss throughout the entire training because every child that comes into care has gone through at least one trauma of being separated from their birth parents. So we cover that a lot. CPR first aid, even though Ron didn't need that. But I did make Ron come to the training and help me with things I didn't know the answer to.
She was like, hey, come help me with this.
I was like, you will know when people ask me questions I can't answer because I don't have medical knowledge.
Right.
Ron
and I'm
there.
a CPR instructor.
It was
so
great.
It helps.
Was great. So we'll go through that. There's a couple of little things like, the annual trainings that are super fun. But the training class really does cover a lot of topics. I feel like, my hope is when you get done with that training, you feel better prepared. So we're going to talk about just the ins and the outs and the children we serve. So that's first step. As we're doing training, though, we're going to be working on licensing paperwork, which is
a lot of it.
A lot of it. Yeah, the majority of the time that we are working towards you becoming a foster parent, becoming licensed, is us doing training and licensing paperwork.
So from the beginning to the end, we started in June.
Right, June was the first call.
And then I think it was November, whenever we finally got, we actually have a certification at home now that's framed. I don't know if you've seen that or not.
Oh, no.
So next time you're over doing the home visit, sitting on our TV stand, it's framed on the TV stand.
That's exciting.
So, yeah. So that was, I guess it was November?
I think it was November. I want to say November 15th you guys were licensed.
Okay. I knew it was right before Thanksgiving, but I couldn't remember
because we
when.
started training in July. And training goes for 6 to 8 weeks. As fast as we can get it done. Sometimes it takes a little longer. Just depends on when we're available.
I know. I think we had a vacation in the middle of training, and you were like, well, we'll just skip that week and then come back the next week.
Yep. So while we're doing that licensing paperwork, you can speak to this as well. I help you with that. I walk you through every bit of that.
Yes, you did.
It is a lot. We do run background checks, so you have to do fingerprinting.
Mm-hmm.
We'll run local checks. We'll do checking just to, make sure that child abuse registries. If you're from another state, which thankfully you were not.
I've not been in that other state for 32 years. I was originally from Savannah, but that was whenever I was like 8.
And I think when I asked you that, you told me that, and I was like, okay, we got a whole bunch of other stuff. We just have to run out-of-state background checks as well. But we walk you through that. We pretty much hold your hand through that whole process.
You did everything for us pretty much,
yeah.
Which was great. I didn't have to do much of anything.
And the really cool thing about this as well, you don't pay for training.
Right.
The only thing out of pocket, fingerprints are $10 to $15.
I think we paid $10. And
then the fire inspection, anywhere from $50 to $75.
We were supposed to pay for that? Oh, I didn't have to pay for that. That was good. No.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but it helps that I know people too. So I don't know.
You did. Ron knows everybody. He doesn't know
Sarah-
people. Ron knows all the people.
Sarah has figured out very quickly that I
All
know a
people.
lot of people in Iredell County.
Yes.
And we'll speak to this a little bit more whenever it comes up to the placement that we got. So,
Yep. I've never sat in a room with Ron and some random name wasn't mentioned and Ron didn't know him.
I think it happened earlier today whenever we were talking just outside.
Yeah.
So
He knows everybody.
But so back to the licensing process. Whenever we finally get licensed, which, like you said, the majority of it is waiting on the state.
It is. It's, submitting fingerprints, that takes time to get back. And once we get all the paperwork done, we submit it to the state licensing office.
Right.
Probably has a more formal name than that. And they have to review everything that we send them.
Okay.
And oftentimes they'll come back with questions, or we may have to just correct a form, or they just want more information. That takes some time. I think that was about a 45-day process.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
a lot of the time we
remember-
were waiting.
I remember one of the things you sent back to me was the CPR card because I accidentally sent you my
right.
AHA instructor card versus my
Yes.
actual CPR card.
That is right.
And you were like, I don't think they're going to accept this, but
Yeah.
I'll let you know. And then I found out what I had done, and I was like, oh, here, send this one instead. This
Right,
is the
yeah.
actual BLS card.
And the beauty of our state licensing reps is you can call. Like, I call them all the time. I send them emails. They're so easy to work with. They want foster parents, so they will
Yeah.
work with us. They will help us correct anything that if we don't know or maybe it's wrong.
Right.
So that process really, honestly, is pretty smooth.
Good.
Yeah. So
Now, we've talked a little bit about who can be a foster parent.
right.
And the process. The fact that obviously I was scared to begin with, and I mean, if you're ever in the wondering stage of if I want to do this or not, do it.
Yes.
It's going to help
Do it.
kids. It's going to help. Just even if, granted, you can't help all the kids that are out there, but it's going to help somebody.
And I knew instantly. First conversation with you guys, I think I told coworkers, I was so excited because I'm like, oh my God, they're perfect.
Well, and then you
They're gonna
found
be so
out
good.
because Kyle's background as a teacher, he's an
Yep,
EC teacher.
An EC teacher.
My background is a paramedic.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, well, we usually don't foster, therapeutic
We don't
kids.
do therapeutic yet.
And one of the reasons you were saying that is because you didn't have the right homes for that kind of thing, for one.
Right. And we have some other licensure things and things that we
Right.
have to do.
And you were,
Eventually, we're going to do that.
whenever you first heard of some kids that were coming in, you were like, well, we don't have a home for these kids.
Right.
And some of it was because of behavioral issues and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. And then you got to talking to us, and Kyle was talking about his EC background and what he dealt with, and you were like, oh, well, I had a perfect kid for y'all 2 weeks ago.
Right. I think I said that throughout the whole training because I would get stuff from Michelle and she would tell me like different names and different referrals. And I'm like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's because of that background
That
Kyle
background,
had.
yes. Well,
So,
you too.
Right.
I mean, you've experienced some things in your life and with family members, and you had a wealth of knowledge of how to work with kids who have like behavior issues, emotional issues.
and it just happened that was,
I would love to recreate you.
I think I've heard that
I
from you
think
a couple
I
of
keep
times.
telling you that. I'm like, where are the other people just like you?
And so whenever we're talking about the fact that we need foster parents, how much do we need foster parents? Like,
We desperately need foster parents in the state of North Carolina right now. And a lot of things have changed kind of the scope of what North Carolina looks like. But one of the things is, we just went through a pandemic.
right.
So a couple of things happened in the pandemic. One was we got a little scared.
Well,
We
yeah.
were locked in our homes and we couldn't interact with people, and it was a lot. And our kids were at home. So nobody had eyes on these children.
Right.
So after COVID happened, and we started getting the kids back into school and teachers started seeing them and they were out in the community, then we found that there were things that were going on. Obviously, Child Protective Services stepped in, took custody of children, and that number of foster kids rose. We're over 11,000 right now in North Carolina
Wow.
foster kids. Now, here's the problem. We don't even have anywhere near half the number of homes that we need.
I know
We're
you were
roughly
showing me
like-
some numbers right before, and that's
we're roughly 5,000 to 6,000, so we're right there in the middle. But the thing is after COVID, people got a little bit more hesitant about opening their doors to other, or taking in other
Right.
other people that weren't in their family and these children that were coming in. Also, we saw, more severe emotional behavior coming out of some of the children, so that gets a little scary. The other thing too is the economy is what the economy is,
Right.
and taking in another mouth to feed, another person to have all these expenses with. It's just a big undertaking.
It's a lot to think about and a lot to do.
It is. And so we've got more kids in foster care and we have less foster homes. So the need for foster homes is always great.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and some of these kids, it's not just one kid.
Right.
I mean, there's multiple kids coming possibly to a family
Yeah.
if you can accommodate.
Right. And we have that conversation
So-
early on about siblings.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of single children. There are sibling groups coming in, and being able to open your home to, 2 or 3 siblings.
I know I talked to a local GAL and for GAL Guardian Ad Litem last week, and she's funny thing because I called you right after this whenever I
Yeah.
run into her out in the community, and I said, so Kaylee Price her and I have known each other forever.
Of course.
And whenever I say forever, I mean like 20, 24 years,
wow.
something like that. And I had no clue she was doing that. She's a volunteer for a local GAL. But one of the things that I found out was that, and I guess it's kind of similar in our case too, because they may be pulled from one area but placed somewhere else.
Right. And that's very true in Iredell County.
Yeah.
I mean, there are over 100 kids in Iredell County right now in foster care.
Wow.
But a majority of those kids are being placed outside of our county because we don't have foster homes in Iredell County.
And you may not know the answer to this because I didn't ask beforehand, but do you know how many foster parents or foster care families you've got here in Iredell County?
I
mean, obviously, if you got 100, there's less than that.
Oh, yeah.
As far as kids,
Yeah. Well,
so-
you think about it, there's only very few agencies that are doing foster care in Iredell County. And so, that's what we're trying to do.
Right.
We are trying to grow within this county. We do have foster parents from other counties.
Right.
But we really want to grow in Iredell County because we know the need is so great here. And we want to serve the children that are from Iredell County.
Yeah.
The reason being, it keeps connections. You stay connected to maybe even your school. You might be able to stay in the same school, which
And
would be
that would
really
help a
great.
lot.
Your church family, your neighbors, your birth family, friends. That's a big one with kids.
Right.
I mean, you've seen that.
Yes.
When they come into care, they lose friends.
Well, and especially if they're and I know there's only certain things that we can talk about as far as the kiddos that I've got, but our kiddos were placed in a outside location
Right.
to where they were far from home,
Right.
or initially, and now they're back closer to their home,
Right.
where they were placed from. And the cool thing is, for one, they get to go, like you said, every other weekend they've got a friend that comes and picks them up for church.
Right. Yep.
So he'll come and get them every other weekend and take them to church. But we've been out in the community and they will see somebody, and the oldest one's like, I think I know him. Like we had
that's awesome.
we had an event last Saturday, and he was looking. He was like, as he was out there riding his bike at the event, he said, I think I used to go to school with him, or I think I go to school. I went to school with him, and I was like, oh, at such and such, and he said, no, at my old school. So he was able to go over and play a little bit with him, and so it's like you said, they get to build that friendship
And maintain that friendship and stay connected.
exactly.
That's so important.
So
So yeah, we do want more homes here in Iredell County. We want to serve the children that are in Iredell County. We want to keep them here and stop sending them to sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be far off.
and that's scary.
There's
for
could
a
be
kid.
kids that are placed 3 and 4 counties away,
Wow.
and that's hard on, just allowing them to stay connected to friends. Like we said, that they have to change schools.
And that's bad
Family.
enough.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
not only
It is
are
hard.
they dealing with the fact of they're no longer at home with their family. Now they are dealing with the fact that they've changed schools. They don't have their friends.
Right.
Their grades could suffer from it.
Absolutely.
Their health could suffer from it in the long run. I mean, depression and all that kind of stuff can happen.
But I have to give you guys a shout out because you don't actually live in the same county where they're from. We live next to that county.
Right.
But you guys have gone above and beyond to put them back in their home community and have them in recreational activities there, school. Like, you are tying them to that community. Like, you're going so above and beyond. It's kind of amazing what you're doing for those kids.
Well, we see now. Granted, they can make friends. They're very friendly kids, but we see how happy they are whenever they get to see that friend that they've not seen in a few months.
Yeah,
they'd be like,
that's
"Oh,
important.
hey." So we actually took them skating a couple weeks ago, and up in the same area, and there was a couple of friends that were there from their previous school that they were actually able to hang out with the entire time.
And that's so big to a kid.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
I mean, it's big to an adult.
Right.
So imagine how that feels as a kid to be like, hey, I know you. I can hang out with you and talk to you. So
you guys are,
they
really are
We're
awesome.
trying.
If I could recreate them, they're so incredible.
We can only do so much, but and so whenever you have a placement,
right?
And I know the answer to this because I've been through it already, but a lot of people out there don't.
Right.
So ours happened back around Christmas. We got the placement right before Christmas. Yeah. And we got to actually hang out with them. Now, not that this always happens, because it doesn't, and we found that out. But we got to hang out with them and go do a couple of things before they actually get to come stay with us.
Yeah, you did.
And they, of course, that helped build the relationship with them. But one of my first questions whenever I found out we were getting them so close to Christmas was, hey, I don't have the funds right this second to go spend money. And, obviously it's not all about the toys like we talked about.
Right, but you got to provide.
But it's Christmas.
Yeah.
Everybody wants something for Christmas.
Yep.
So I was like, what do we do? What's the process?
Yeah.
How can I go and get stuff for them, or do you guys have stuff for them? And not necessarily children's home, but DSS and stuff like that.
What are the resources, right?
So, and y'all immediately were like, oh, don't worry about that. We got that.
Right. Yep. Because we talked about that. I mean, it was so close to Christmas, and we were worried because we didn't know if they would have presents coming with them or what that looked like already for them where they were. And I was like, don't worry, here. I think I sent you a form, like, let's get this filled out. Let's figure out everything we need to know about them.
Yeah.
And make sure that they have a Christmas, because we do have really incredible, wonderful donors.
Yes.
Who take care of Christmas. Like, they go above and beyond to make sure that all these kids have a great Christmas, birthdays, whatever. We have people coming by our office so many times dropping off gift bags because it's Valentine's Day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And one thing that I did notice whenever we were doing the training, there was constantly kids that would come in and sit and speak, and you made comment about, I have to hide some of my candy so that they don't take it all, because they like to come in here and raid my candy dishes.
Oh yeah, they sure do.
And it's cool though to see that, because granted, that's not at a family setting home.
Right.
But those were kids, I think you said, that were in different group homes, right?
Right.
Before you got
correct.
with you guys?
Yep.
So knowing that they are comfortable enough to be able to do that is great. I mean, because y'all have helped them come out of that comfort zone and not be scared of what's going on.
Yeah. And, in addition to foster care, we do provide residential services. We have residential group homes. We have transitional living, which is a really cool program because it's serving that 18 to 21, where sometimes kids in foster care, that's where it drops off.
Right.
These kids can choose to sign back into custody, come to this transitional living program, and we're basically setting them up for adulthood. We're teaching them, the skills they need, helping them get jobs, helping them go higher education or complete education. So they are really comfortable. I think during your class, they tended to show up and eat our snacks quite a bit.
Which was okay.
And they are very comfortable. And in some ways, we just become family members to them because they see us every day.
Right.
And they're with us. But I will never forget when we were cleaning up and I was making everyone hide the snacks because we had like one class left. And I was like, if we don't hide this, we're going to have no snacks. And it was we were meeting during dinner time, so
Right.
everybody was eating the snacks. But yeah,
And I remember, speaking of snacks, I remember one of the things you said was some of these kids, whenever they come in, as far as into your home, you don't know what they're coming from.
absolutely.
So sometimes offering that, and I took this to heart because you said sometimes offering that open basket of snacks
Of anytime snacks.
of
yes.
any time,
Yep.
they can go in there and grab what they need or what they want.
Right.
Within limitations, obviously, you've got to have some guidance with it, but that gives them that opportunity to, hey, I'm
Right.
home. I'm able to do what I need to do
Absolutely,
and not have
yeah.
to ask for every little thing.
And you were so good at that. Man, you had that basket because it was healthy foods, like a sweet snack. Like,
Yeah.
It was, the kids were just like, whoa.
Well, and
Yeah.
then finding out some of these things, like some of these kids may come in and say, oh, wow, they've got food.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
that you telling me, and I'm kind of in a emotional almost now, but you telling me that made me think I've never had to worry about that. But these kids don't know that.
Right.
So,
That's very true. We take the things that we have for granted.
Right.
And don't realize that there's people that don't have the things like food all the time, or knowing that I have a snack if I want a snack, or I can go and I'm going to get food for the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I love about Children's Home of Iredell County is I think me and Sarah talk almost, if not daily, every other day.
We do. But it's the thing about you, Ron, is that you are so invested.
Right.
You are so invested in the kids in your home, and you want to do a good job, and you want to make sure you're meeting their needs. And
Yes, definitely.
yeah, and you're so good at communicating, which I love. And so we talk all the time,
I think
except when we talk about like this, and you don't tell me it's a video. Other than that, we talk all the
I
time.
think I told you.
I think you didn't.
We have talked a couple of times, 3 or 4 times over the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks about this.
Yeah, so he probably did, but
So
I chose
there's
to not hear that.
there's a thread that I've got text wise with me, you, and Kyle.
right.
There's a text that I've got with me, you, Kyle, and Amy, which is our social worker that we're dealing
Right.
with. And then there's a text between just me and Sarah.
Yep. Yeah, we talk frequently.
So, and then I found out there's a text between Kyle and Sarah last night.
Yeah. Me and Kyle have our own
So,
text. We are some good communicators.
now, as
That's
far
true.
as the kids coming into the home,
Right.
how do you determine how many kids can be in a home?
So, yeah, let's talk about what that looks like, because we've talked about like training and licensing. So, when we are at the point where we're going to start placing children in your home, throughout the entire training class and licensing, we are talking about what kind of child you think you would work best with.
Right.
And then I'm giving you feedback on what I think might work, and we kind of go back and forth, and we talk about ages, temperament, even activities, because you guys are really active.
Right.
I knew you needed active children, and you do have active children. Like that's
Definitely.
yeah, it was a perfect little match. So it's all matching. We want to make sure that we're taking your preferences, and that we can find a child who's going to come into your home, match your family, match the things that you already do. And we did that great with you. This was the craziest story ever, because we put together a profile, just a picture of you guys, a little bit of information about you.
I remember you sending that to us. You said, hey, give me something that I can write out. What
Right.
do you like? What do you
Some
do?
facts about you guys.
Yeah.
And then it was immediate. Michelle got a referral immediately, and someone who knew you.
Right. You sent it off, and
Of course they knew
whenever
you.
you sent, whenever
Yeah.
you said, whenever they sent back, they were like, I know him.
It was like 10 minutes. And honestly, that person said that these would be a good match for you. And we looked at them, and I'm like, they are. These 2 boys are going to fit right into their family. I called you guys. We talked about it. We went through,
Right.
just some information that we had. And immediately we were like, let's start this process.
Yeah. As soon as you started talking about the kids, it was like,
Yeah.
as scared as I was, and honestly, I was scared because I didn't know what it was going to be like. I mean,
Right.
I've helped with my nephews, and
Yeah.
they've stayed at my house for a while, and then they've gone and done other things, but then to have the responsibility of having the kids there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Yeah.
You know, it's a little bit intimidating.
Right.
Not going to lie.
Yeah. We set up the bedrooms
And that was that we're going to talk about too, because initially we were saying one or two kids.
right.
But right now we only have space because I had stuff in an office area.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and now whenever I say office area, this office area,
It was a bedroom.
but I had made it into an office.
Mm-hmm.
And we had went ahead and moved everything, because initially we had everything in that bigger bedroom as the
Right.
office.
Yep.
And the bedroom that was set up was smaller. So I was like, well, if we get a kid, I want them to have the bigger space.
Right.
So let's go ahead and move everything back over. Well, we moved everything back over.
And we went and we looked. Remember, we went and we walked in the rooms. We looked
Yeah.
at it. We thought about the furniture, and we just talked through
Just in case.
how this is going to work. Yeah.
So, and then we were like, you called and said about that we have possibility of 2 kids, and I was like, oh.
And I remember I kept telling you guys, like, we're gonna license you for 2. You can do 2.
Right.
I know you can do 2.
And
And then here they came.
and whenever everything come together, you were like, I called you and I said, hey, we don't have a problem doing this,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have the furniture.
Right.
So
And-
what happens with that?
So we have this amazing partner. His name's Mark Moss, and
He was awesome.
Yes, he works at the Advocate, and I called him up. I said, "Listen, here's the situation. We have a sibling set moving in. We need a bed. We need
Yeah.
bedroom furniture," and he was like on it.
And I think you called me and you said he's got a twin bed originally.
Right, because then I was like, "Can I connect you two so you guys could talk
Yeah.
space and what you need?"
And he actually delivered and I'm thinking, because this is all I've never had a headboard, footboard type
We
situation.
thought it was just box spring.
We
and-
thought it was
yeah.
box spring and like a setup to do
Yeah.
the wheels on the bottom. No, he had a full blown wooden, like old school wooden
Beautiful bed,
headboard,
yes.
footboard. Brought a dresser
Yes.
and sheets and everything. Like it was the whole setup.
And this all happened in 72 hours, maybe?
Yeah.
It was fast. We just said what we needed, and Mark Moss made it happen.
And guys, we keep looking over this way because we do have somebody
Oh,
else
yeah.
sitting in the room, but she's been quiet.
She's the Michelle I keep referencing.
Yeah, whatever. We keep looking this way. This is Michelle. So,
But that was, and that's the thing with our agency is that we do have these really great, like, outside sources that are willing to help out. I mean, Mark, that was incredible.
yeah,
And I've worked with him for years, and he's just a wonderful, wonderful person. But that really helped you guys take some of the burden of having to go out and buy bedroom furniture.
right.
So, we do have access to different support systems that are outside of our agency that work well with us in partnership.
And that was great. Knowing that was something that we didn't have to
Right.
fork out extra money for was awesome.
And you guys do get a stipend for being foster parents.
Right.
But at that point in time, they hadn't arrived yet. And so, this is like a full bedroom
Yeah.
setup.
So, and not only that, but like you said, we got them in the middle of December.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get anything, I think, until probably the middle of January.
Maybe.
I think it was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were with us for a month before, and not
And then
not
because
that
you
that's
got a stipend, in
Right.
January and then February.
and then
yeah.
February too.
Right.
But it was just one of those things of it's not that that's the important part, but
No,
that does
it
help.
was an extra expense because we had Christmas, we had the bedroom,
Right.
and we just had really incredible donors step up and really just help you guys and
Very quickly.
quickly. Yes, we are very, very blessed because we do have great donors, great people supporting what we do at Children's Homes.
Yes.
So
And
Yeah.
and I have to say I'm thankful that you didn't look in my garage after that because
the first visit to you organized that garage like I've never seen in my life with all of Kyle's teaching things.
yes.
And you were so worried about the garage. And I think I opened the door and I was like, yeah, it looks good. And then you were like, oh, well, no, we're going to go in the garage. We're going to go look.
I made
put
you go out
all
there.
this effort. But then with the bedroom, we never went back in that garage.
No. And it's a good thing you didn't.
You were so worried about the garage. And that's the other thing, we walk you through everything.
Right.
How many times did we walk around your house and
Oh.
make sure that
Multiple.
everything was in order, in place? So
And-
don't think your house has to be perfect.
No, because
doesn't.
mine is definitely not perfect. I can tell you that.
You had to make screens.
Yeah, that was a fun part.
We did. We had an adventure with this. 'Cause you made the screens.
And surprisingly, those screens are still in there. I don't know if you've paid
I
attention.
did. I saw them because the dogs were not at the window,
Yes.
and I looked at your windows, and all the screens.
And
are
for
still
those that don't
perfect.
know, I have 5 dogs and a pig.
Yes.
So animals are fine too.
Yeah, you
by
can
the
have
way.
animals.
They just need to be updated on the shots, make sure they're good.
And we come out and we do a pet assessment and,
Yeah.
hang out with the animals. And
I think you made the comment whenever you came out to my house, the pig was probably the most interesting.
I've never licensed a home with a pig.
So
That was different. And the pig followed me everywhere, and the
Wilma,
friendliest little pig.
Wilma is just like a little dog, a puppy.
It is.
So she's
Yeah.
she's a good little friendly animal.
And how cool is that for a kid? Hey, the home you're going to has a pig.
That was actually
Right.
one of the things that the youngest one that we've got. And
Yeah.
if you see me kind of pause for a second, I'm trying not to use names. The youngest one that we've got, he was very interested that whenever we first told him that we had a pig,
Right,
was like,
he was.
oh.
This is new.
And because his brother actually made the comment because he was kind of running around playing whenever we did a video conference to
Right.
talk to him first, and he was running around playing, and the oldest one was like, "Hey, come talk to him for just a second because hey, they've got dogs and a pig."
That was really cool too, because that was actually your meet and greet.
Right.
So we wanted you guys to meet them, let the kids ask you questions.
Yeah.
You could get to know them a little bit and see if you thought that was a good match.
And it turned out good.
You did.
So
I think we talked that night for like an hour, and I was like, oh, yeah. They like
well,
he's
and
perfect.
the next day because we said that we needed to have a conversation and talk about things, me and Kyle.
Yeah.
And you said the next day you sent me a message or sent us a message and you said, so what do you guys think?
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, I could go ahead and tell you my answer last night, but
Yeah.
so it is cool being able to help these kids and do that kind of
It
thing for
is.
them though.
Yeah.
And it's not about us. It's
Right.
about the kids, and it's about taking care of those kids.
Exactly.
Making sure that they have what they need and making sure that they're happy.
Right.
I mean, and so what are some other things? I know you had a list of things over there. I think we've covered the majority of things we were talking about.
Well, so I briefly mentioned the stipend.
Yeah.
You do receive a monthly stipend. It is different amounts for the age of children that you have. The oldest, obviously, you're going to get a little bit more for that.
Right.
So you do get that stipend that helps out with, just expenses of having children come into your home.
Groceries.
Groceries, right? They also get a clothing stipend from DSS. We also get donations and things that they can access as far as clothing and shoes and maybe gift cards and things like that. So there is some financial help that comes along with being a foster parent.
That's awesome.
And what we just experienced today, learning that you just got to ask for it. And
Right.
there's funds at DSS as well that are available to help out.
Don't ever be scared to mention. So
Yeah.
one of the things that we were talking about, the kiddos went for a dental appointment and they had some things that needed to be taken care of. And so I sent that paperwork to our social worker along with Amy, just for one, to keep up the medical records because they do need that.
Yep.
And then for two, to just say, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah.
And whenever I did, the social worker sent back and said, hey, we've actually talked to somebody and we've got the opportunity, we can actually pay for this.
Yeah.
So
Because it was something that Medicaid wasn't covering.
right.
And it was just something a little different and above and beyond kind of for a dentist to do.
Right.
But it was immediate.
Which I was going to do
Yeah.
anyway because it was going to help
Absolutely.
with the care.
But there is financial help. So you don't have to be rich.
right.
You don't have to have, lots of money in the bank. You don't have to have any of that. And, and speaking of that, just things that, there's some of the myths that we were talking about. We're talking about you don't have to be married. You don't have to be rich. You also don't have to own your own home.
So you can be a renter.
You can be a renter.
Okay.
Yeah. Which a lot of people are shocked to hear. You don't have to have parenting experience.
Because I had none.
He had some. You took care of a lot of family
Right.
members and your nephews, and You have more than what you thought.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
as far as direct parenting.
Direct parenting, no.
Yeah.
You've caught on really well.
Um,
But yeah, there's a lot. If you think a lot of people don't call because they think I'll never be approved.
right.
Just call and ask,
Yeah.
because there's so many questions you asked me, and I was like, nope, that's fine. Like, this won't even matter.
Which was good.
Yeah.
Well, and so obviously you've heard me talk about Kyle. Kyle is my fiance, and we're in there's a whole lot of different things. We are part of, we are a male couple. So it's one of those things of that can happen too, just as well. There's
Absolutely.
a lot of stigma around that
Right.
you hear about, but and one of the things you had to reassure me of was they're not going to care. Those kids are not going to care.
They're not going to care. They
So-
want a safe home. They want a consistent home. They want
Right.
a loving home. And has it come up?
No,
Never.
no,
And it didn't come up with placement?
not at all.
No.
So,
And I kept having to reassure you because we need foster parents of any shape, size, everything.
right. As
Any-
long as you're willing to
any
take care of those kiddos,
faith,
that's what matters.
Anything. Like, there's nothing that excludes you. So please call and let's talk through it, because I'm fearful, just because I hear it so often, that there are really great people out there that want to be foster parents.
But they're scared.
They're just scared. So call, talk to me. I talk to people all the time. Some people license, some people don't. And I'll answer your questions and give you the information you need.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And she's friendly to talk to. She's
And
easy to
friendly.
talk to.
We talk all the time.
So I think we've covered everything on there.
Yep. I think we have.
And she's got a piece of paper. She was worried that she couldn't look at her paper whenever we were talking about
I
things,
actually
so-
can't see it because I need glasses, but if I hold it out far enough, I can see it.
You mean to hold it over here for you?
Right, if you
Will
hold
that
it
help?
over there, I can probably see it.
So the only other thing that I can think of is, how do we get in touch with you?
You can call me. Is there a way that you can share that
Yeah,
number?
absolutely.
Okay, I'll give it as well, too.
Okay, we'll put it on the end of the
Yeah,
the
we'll
end
put
of the
it on
video.
there.
So,
You can call me, email me. You can actually call our main office, Children's Homes of Iredell County. They will get you in touch with me.
okay.
You can come by our office. Come visit me.
They're in a really, really pretty house down
Cool
there
house, yes.
across from the tax office.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm there most days, so I like having visitors. So come visit me, talk to me.
and I'm horrible with names. The lady that sits at the desk down there.
Lisa.
Lisa. She's an
Lisa,
awesome person. I just could
she's
not think of her name.
Amazing. She is the absolute best.
So,
So if you don't see me, you'll see her.
right.
And that'll make your day even better.
So, and Lisa is the main one as you come in the door.
Right.
She's right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you have any questions about doing this, you can reach out to me and I can get you in touch with Sarah very
Or,
easily.
you know what? On our website now, when you go on there, there is a contact us form that pops
Okay.
up, and it's actually my name and number. Or you can go directly to my email. So that information pops up immediately on chomesofiredell.com. I was thinking there, I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to get this wrong.
She knew I was fixing to ask that.
chomesofiredell.com.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming in and talking
thanks,
to me.
Ron. This was actually fun. And
It wasn't bad. See,
it wasn't. I was a little nervous.
she was nervous, but she did very well.
It's
So.
just because we talk so much. Like, at least I'm comfortable talking.
Well, and that's what we like to try and do
Right.
here, is make a very open and thoughtful conversation versus anything set in point. So
Chuck, this was great. Or if you have questions about being a foster parent, you can just call Ron. Ron has personal experience and he's doing amazing. So,
I can help out a little bit.
Right.
So,
perfect.
but thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time.